Hey, what's up, guys? It's Javen, and I'm here to give my predictions and talk a little bit about UFC 198, which is May 14th. So it's about a week away. Um, yeah, I'm gonna talk about the main card, and then I'm gonna pick other fights on the rest of the card to talk about. Just the fan favorites. So I'll start off with them. Let me first say, this is a great card, but I mean, in my personal opinion, I feel like people are giving it a lot more hype than they should. There's a lot of huge names on the card, but maybe if this was a few years ago, you can give it the hype it deserves. But a lot of the big names like Silva, Vitor, and Shogun, for example, they're kind of old and not haven't been looking that great. So name wise and notoriety, it sounds amazing. Like, oh, all these great Brazilians on this great Brazilian card, and Brazil. But in my personal opinion, if this was a few years ago, maybe I'll be a little bit more excited for it. But I still think there's going to be some great fights. So we'll start off with I think I said the main event, right? Werdum versus Stipe Miocic, which I think is a great fight. Stipe has been looking great in his last fights, finishing Andre, who has a weak chin, but whatever. Congrats. That was a great fight. Werdum, who is so underrated. I mean, people still don't give him the respect after beating the guys he's beaten in the fashion he's beaten them. I mean, submitted Nogueira, submitted Kane. I think the bigger one is the submission over Nogueira, but beating Werdum, I mean, he's just looked amazing. The way he beat, my favorite fight from him is against Travis Brown. That was 5 rounds of just skill. I think in the 3rd round he did a little hop up off the canvas, which is cool. But anyway, I feel like this is a great matchup, but I just see Werdum taking this. Taking nothing away from Stipe, who has amazing hands. I mean, his boxing is top notch, but I just feel like Werdum is on a whole nother level right now. His confidence is through the roof, and I don't see anyone beating him for a while. I think he'll beat Kane again, if he gets that rematch. If he goes through Stipe, which I think he will, and I don't really see anyone else in that division beating him. His stand-up has gotten so much better, and I mean, obviously his ground game is the best in the heavyweight division in every organization. Like, I mean, hands down, his jiu-jitsu is top notch. So I see Werdum taking this. I'm gonna say 3rd or 4th round. I don't think it'll go to a decision. I think the first 2 rounds will be competitive. I think Werdum will be a little careful, making sure he doesn't get clipped by Stipe. But I feel like in the 3rd or 4th, he'll get it to the ground somehow, and he'll pull it for submission. So that's my prediction. Then the co-main is Jacare versus Vitor. I think, again, what I mentioned earlier, if this was TRT Vitor a few years ago, this would be an amazing fight. Because that Vitor was, like, unhuman. I mean, he took Bisbing's eye. He beat the current champion, and then he, I think, uppercutted Dan Henderson in the air, and it was just TRT Vitor was like Super Saiyan 2 Goku or something. It was just ridiculous. But I'm giving this fight to Jacare. I think the first round, Vitor's gonna come out strong with his dad body and his new beard. He's gonna come out powerful, knowing that's his best chance. And I see Jacare smothering him in that 2nd and 3rd. Maybe a submission, but I'm gonna give it a decision. I'm gonna give it 2 rounds to 1 for Jacare. I think Vitor will take the 1st round, but I think the next 2, Jacare is just gonna smother him like gravy over chicken. That sounds pretty good right now. Silva versus Uriah Hall. Anderson Silva versus Uriah Hall. I think this might be one of the wackest fights on this card, if I'm being honest. You have 2 counter strikers fighting each other. Now, stylistically and on paper, it may look amazing because they're both, creative strikers, but I think they're both going to be really patient. either one doesn't want to lose. Uriah Hall knows this is a big opportunity to elevate his name, and just losing to Michael Bisping, Silva feels like he needs to get a win. And if he loses to Uriah Hall, which is it's a household name, but not really, that's going to look really bad for Silva, and he's getting up there in age. So I think both guys will be cautious. This is definitely going to a decision, I feel like. I think, yeah, this is going to be a whack fight, I'm sorry to say. But I'm going to give it to... that's a tough one. I'm gonna say Uriah. I'm gonna say he's a younger guy. He might be a little bit more hungry. Yeah, but I'm not excited for that fight, to be honest. Then we have Cyborg versus Leslie Smith. Moment of silence for Leslie. Can we prepare her casket as well in the meantime? Kudos to her for being one of the only women to accept the fight, but I mean, she already lost her ear. Is she trying to lose her nose, her eye? Like, Cyborg is going to violate. I'm sorry, this is not even... If Leslie win, I would be surprised. I mean, for me, this is a no-brainer. I think this is fight of the night. I think this ends late first to early mid-second. I think Leslie's going to come forward. Cyborg is going to come forward. Cyborg might be a little hesitant because she's fighting in her hometown and it is her debut. But I think when she gets comfortable in there, which is what I'm saying, the end of the first, maybe the beginning of the second, I think she's putting her to sleep. She's going to give her some NyQuil, put her to rest, give her a pillow, and call it a night. Then it's Shogun versus Anderson, Corey Anderson. Another so-so fight. Shogun has looked terrible as well recently. I'm going to give it to Corey Anderson. Again, he's a younger fighter. Even though Shogun is not what he used to be, he is still a name. And I feel like Corey Anderson feels like he can, elevate himself by beating the Shogun in the division. Another decision, I feel like nothing too special. And let's see the rest of the card real quick. Damian Maia versus Matt Brown, which is the feature fight on the prelims. That's going to be a great fight, I feel like. If Damian Maia could get it to the ground, it's the end of the world for Matt Brown. I mean, you've seen what Damian Maia did to Gunnar Nelson. And Gunnar is a top guy on the ground as well. But Matt Brown has heart. He's hungry. He's a fighter's fighter. So I like that fight. It's hard to pick that one. But I said I would get predictions. So if I had to, looking at them right now, I'm going to give it to Damian. He's on a roll right now. Even though Matt Brown went the distance. Oh, it's only 3 rounds. But he went the distance with Johnny Hendricks and went 5 rounds actually with Robbie Lawler. I feel like Maia is going to win the decision based on his groundwork. What else is there that I want to talk about? John Lineker versus Font. I give that to Lineker. Haven't seen him fight in a while. Nogueira versus Pat Cummins. Haven't seen Pat. I think since his loss to OSP, I believe. Nogueira, maybe since his loss to Rumble. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But I'm giving that the comments as well. Again, just because Nogueira's old now. Pat is a young guy. He's still good. He got caught by OSP. It happens. OSP has hammers in his hand. So I'm giving that the comments as well. There's some other good fights from here, but I'm going to just touch base on the fights I feel like most people would know about. Not everyone is a hardcore UFC fan, so I don't want to bore too many people with fights that people don't really know or care about. So, if you agree with the predictions, comment, let me know. If you disagree, comment, let me know. I will reply back. I like discussing UFC. The only sport I watch. Honestly, I don't know nothing about basketball, football, none of this stuff. So, I'm not invested in these guys' lives. I don't know stats for stats and all of that. I have a life, but I am a huge fan. So, yeah, comment. All positive comments, anything negative will be blocked. Don't have time for that. So, thank you for watching, guys. Subscribe. If you want me to talk about any dream matchups you have, I'll try to get into more detail about those. But for now, I'm just trying to give a quick synopsis of, the fights coming on. But if you want more details and stuff from me, I would definitely do that. Just don't want to bore you guys. So feedback would be great. Thank you for checking out. Subscribe, comment, share, do all that good stuff. Shirt soon. Take care.